First things first, I am never going back to Windows. You can get that right out of your head right now. So what am I on about then? Well, I have been running Fedora for just over 6 months now, and I have gone through hundreds of updates and one major upgrade. And I've only had 2 issues really. One was the upgrade from Fedora 42 to 43, and it was blocked because of an issue with Wine, but once I removed Wine, the upgrade worked fine. I just had to install Wine again once done. This is a known issue and is being tracked on the bug tracker. The other issue was after the update to Fedora 43, DaVinci Resolve stopped working. Now apparently this was due to a Python version mismatch, something to do with DaVinci Resolve using Python 3.13 and Fedora 43 running Python 3.14. It basically completely balked the install. It opened fine, but it just did not function. And Shane did a great video covering how to install DaVinci Resolve using Distrobox, and I've been running it that way ever since. If that's something you're interested in, I'll put the link down below. So yeah, I love Fedora, if you didn't know already. It's been incredibly stable, and I can play all my favourite games with great performance. Not as good as CachyOS though, apparently. Look, I get the best of Linux, amazing general use, and gaming has been fantastic. However, I have just invested in a Mac Mini. Now, you can call me a sellout if you like, but it was a birthday and Christmas present to myself, if you will. It was on offer, and with RAM prices going through the roof, I thought now is as good a time as any. So I gave my MacBook to my son for his birthday, and after migrating everything, I now have a nice shiny M4 24GB Mac Mini. I'm moving all of my video editing workflow to it, and I'm going to start up doing some music creation again because I've kind of missed that. Once I get the time, I'll give that another go. So without spending an absolute fortune on higher spec gear, I now have the best setup I could ever want. I get all the freedom of Linux, and I get all the app compatibility of Mac. I can use the Mac for things like hardware firmware updates and config like an iCue for my mouse. I can use it for all the plugins like Omnisphere, if you know, you know. And I can now continue to run Adobe natively, which is incredibly good on a Mac. I did look at Affinity, but I don't think I'm quite ready to switch over just yet. So where does Windows come into it? Well, as many of you know, I recently started a new job and they are making me use Windows 11, and you know what? It's pretty good. Now, I'd never say that from a consumer point of view, but in terms of business application, it is really good. Even the AI side of things is useful as it's contained within the business's Microsoft ecosystem. So I get up in the morning, I set off any updates and go and grab a cuppa. Once that's done, I can just get on with the job. The Microsoft ecosystem with the higher license tiers are pretty holistic in terms of functionality and security, and it all connects together pretty well. It's not perfect and things can just appear out of nowhere all of a sudden, but generally it's good. So I don't think the problem with Microsoft is on the business side, it's more on the consumer side. And this got me thinking, why? Now, Microsoft is a publicly traded company and it has a legal duty to increase shareholder value. They are literally legally obliged to make money for the shareholders. And this means they are always pushing to implement the next big thing. They often add features to existing products, then monetize it as a premium version. And from a business point of view, it really does make sense. Maybe they are out of touch with the consumer, or maybe they're not. Maybe most people are not like us and are happy with the way Windows 11 is. I, for one, am happy with Windows in the business setting, but for my personal PC, hell no, never again. And I'll finish on this incredible observation. One really great thing when using Windows for work is when I'm done for the day, I turn off the work laptop, I boot up my PC, I log into Fedora, and you know what? It really feels like I've arrived home. If you've made it this far, thank you. I hope you can spare a minute or two to comment your thoughts below, or just leave an emoji for the sake of the algorithm. Thanks so much for watching, you guys take care, and I'll catch you in the next one.